Hey, Jake. Congrats on the deal. Just wondering where you want to take your game in the next couple of years now that it's taken care of and everything's in place for the next 2 years. Where, in particular, do you want to take your game to the next level?
Yeah, just to start off, I just want to thank, obviously, the Jacobs family, Don Sweeney, Cam Neely, my teammates, and obviously the management in Boston as well for helping me get this done. My agent, Rick Villette, and my friends and family for getting this done. And just wanted to say that. And obviously, going to your question, Hags, I think the biggest thing that I focused on, obviously, this off season, it's been a little bit of a different one for me. So, there's been a lot of things that have been kind of out there, and I've been, been focusing on probably just my physical side of the game. I think that I've put on some weight already, and I've been really attacking, just getting stronger overall, and just more balance on the ice, and also just little details within my game that I think can help the ups and downs. I think that's kind of thing that everyone likes to talk about. So it's been obviously a big focus of mine, and obviously still trying to work on speed and still trying to be fast and or faster, I guess. And but definitely the physical side of things of just kind of the wear and tear of the season and the playoffs as well.
We'll go next to Mike Loftus.
Hey, Jake, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Excellent, thanks. So Donnie yesterday was talking about different levels that he thinks that you can reach, and he mentioned things like possibly penalty kill because of your speed, a forecheck thing. These aren't things that we have seen you really have to do that much. I mean, so like, would you have to maybe like rethink parts of your game, do you think, in a way, or change like your mental outlook in any ways? Or
No, I think it actually goes hand in hand with how I want to play the game. I think that I agree with what he said. I agree with that as well. Obviously you've had great penalty killers and great special teams since I've been in the league, but I think that especially on the forecheck, I mean, I'm one of the fastest guys on the team, and when I'm playing well, I'm skating, and I could definitely put more pressure on D-man and be more physical in those corners too. It's not necessarily the right idea if I'm not pushing the pace of play and pushing the forecheck. So obviously just getting my stick in there. I feel like I have a decent stick already once I do get in there, but I agree with them, just kind of disrupting plays, disrupting breakouts, and it can cause turnovers and obviously create chaos around the net. And I think that actually just goes hand in hand with my game. It's not necessarily thinking differently. It's just more just being fully aggressive, just going all out all the time. I think is kind of what that means.
And is that, if I can follow it up just a little, I mean, you mentioned that you're trying to, work on the physical side and maybe, gain a few pounds, things like that. I mean, do you have that kind of, do you have that in mind as you think, maybe about full out aggressive and, net front and corners and things like that?
Yeah, of course. That's my main focus. I mean, there's pretty much a glaring aspect of my game that was last year. I don't think it was necessarily there my first year. I kind of looked at, obviously throughout this whole process, I've looked at pretty much every single stat you can find. So, I looked at some things and be able to see that it's obviously easy to change. I mean, there's no reason why I can't have a hit per game or, and that goes hand in hand with what I was just talking about earlier with the forechecking. And I think that that's been a main focus of mine. Not saying I'm going to be running around out there, but obviously I can finish checks more. And, that's usually how I play. That's how I've been known to play. It just didn't really happen much this year. And it's one thing that I felt like affected my game a lot, and, could open up space for me and my teammates, and also just getting the puck. That's the biggest thing. Obviously you're trying to get possession of it. And, if the defensemen don't think they're going to get hit, they'll take an extra second to make that play. So it's just a matter of just getting on them as fast as I can, use my foot speed, use my strengths to get there. And then from the rest, it's just hockey.
Great. Thanks.
Go next to Fluto Shinzawa.
Hey, congratulations. It must be stressful in any case not to be without a deal, but maybe even especially so given the pandemic. What has this past month plus been like for you, just to deal with the stress of that situation?
It's been different for sure. It's been different ever since the end of the year, to be honest with you. Like you said, the pandemic and just how life is in general right now. And, obviously you hear lots of things. I live here in Edmonton, so hockey's king here, and always was getting asked about it a lot. So it was one of those things where it was definitely a different experience, and I think that's definitely motivated me. Obviously I wanted to still be with the Bruins, and it's one of those things where you can't really take a lot of things too seriously, but when it's coming in waves, it's one of those things where, like I said, it was just different to deal with. But moving forward from that, I just kind of used it in my training. I kind of just used it to. That was one of the things I can kind of get away from it in a way, and it's one of those things that I've been really focused on, and it's nice to have my family support here and all my friends and stuff like that. So that's been good as well. There's been good moments of this, and it's just a matter of getting through this. Obviously staying safe and staying healthy and trying to improve.
We'll go next to Matt Porter.
Hey, Jake. A couple quick ones. When you are training right now, do you have, not necessarily an end date, I need to get back to Boston, date, but do you have an idea? Are you kind of tailoring your training approach in that way?
Yeah, it's kind of a tough question. I don't really know when we're coming back, to be honest with you, and especially with how obviously the contract's done now. That gives me a little more of a timeline in a way. Obviously I think we're trying to aim for whatever the rumors are that are out there. We're all in the same boat here, right? Everything seems to be changing, and I've just prepared myself to be ready no matter what. Be ready for January, be ready for even earlier or whatever. I've been going pretty hard, so I don't really want to didn't really want to have that on my mind, is necessarily not feeling like I'm ready to go for camp, if that makes any sense. I'm pretty much prepared at any moment here, and this has been a weird off season. It feels like this is the longest off season I've had in about 3 years. So obviously itching to get back into Boston for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And also, this has been something that's been talked about, but I'm curious for your reflections on it. Just kind of the idea of, you love to score goals. You've always been a goal scorer and somebody who your teams, looked at to score goals. The mental challenge of, not letting things get to you when the puck's, not going in the net for you. Have you kind of come to any, have you thought further about that, or feel like you've kind of grown a little bit in that regard?
I've definitely grown. I think that I've gone through a lot of, tough stretches here. Not necessarily tough, but stretches that I didn't really want to be a part of that have kind of affected me differently. I mean, obviously, young players in this league always deal with that, right? So, it's one of those things, like you said, I'm expected to score goals. So when it doesn't go in, obviously it affects you. But I think I've grown overall. I've played almost around 200 games. So, I mean, I played a lot of hockey here, and, it's one of those things that, you can think about it, you can not think about it. I think the best way just to go about it is just to play hockey, just go out there and play. And, the stress factor that you can put on yourself just hurts you. And, it's kind of one of those things where, sometimes you just need a balance. Sometimes it's just hockey, right? So obviously I'd love to score every single game. I think every player in the league would say that, but it's one of those things where, obviously comes with consistency and things like that. So it's just a matter of just actually my all around game, what I can bring to the table when I'm not scoring. It's one of those things that's where I've really tried to focus on, and one thing that I'll definitely be changing for the rest of my career.
Great. Thanks. Congrats on the deal.
Thanks.
We'll do a last call for questions and go to Timmy Rosenthal. Go ahead, Timmy.
Hey, Jake, how you doing today?
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Just a couple of questions. One is, we saw in previous deals with the Bruins, you saw Charlie and Brandon last year kind of get these short-term bridge deals. So just going into your negotiations, did you have a feeling that was the way they were going to go with you?
I think it kind of changed, to be honest with you. I think originally we started talking about long-term. This was last year, I believe. Yeah, it was. Yeah, so we were talking about long-term deals, and then obviously the pandemic hit, and different things kind of came in the fold here with the salary cap and all these different variables, honestly. And then it switched to a short-term deal. So I'd say at first, no, but then I kind of understood the common ground, and very happy that this was able to get done.
And then add to the pandemic, this was probably one of the first times you had to go through contract negotiations. Am I right there?
Yeah, this is my first first deal in 5 years, I think it was. Yeah, for my entry level. Yeah.
So just adding that together with the stress of the pandemic, was there ever some tough days for you going through this? And how relieved are you now that at least you know you have a deal before camp?
To be honest with you, yeah, it wasn't easy. I mean, obviously there's bigger things to life in hockey. I'm in a very lucky position where, you know, I was able to come to a contract agreement, and, you know, people are losing their lives and their jobs here. And you know, like you said, there was some tough days for sure, especially with just living in Edmonton and the pressure of just kind of hearing about it all the time. You know, it was one of those things where it wasn't like I didn't want to think about it, but like I said earlier, I'm very happy this is able to get done, and happy for the support that I had around me. You know, my family's, you know, a 50-minute drive away, and you know, I spent a lot of time with them here, and that I think kind of helped with that. But there's definitely some nights where I was, you know, obviously thinking a lot, and you know, I feel like that's normal, though. I feel like that's just the position that I was put in, and it is what it is. But like I said, I'm very happy and excited to be back in Boston. It's an honor to be you know, signed here.
Thanks, Jake. Congrats again.
Thank you.
We'll wrap up with a question from Mike Loftus. Go ahead, take us home, Mike.
Speaking of home, Jake, what's it like in Edmonton now? Like, what are you allowed to do? Are you can you skate? Can you do you have to stay in your house? What are you what are the restrictions like, and what can you do?
Yeah, the restrictions actually have been, you know, there's obviously been normal restrictions. I'd guess probably stage 2, it's called here in Edmonton, where I've been able to skate and work out consistently here. I've been on the ice probably 3 or 4 times a week, and then working out 4 or 5 times. So I've been pretty busy here, couple tough weeks, but you know, I think that there's actually some new guidelines coming into place here. I think today the mayor's making an announcement, and obviously right now with the world, you know, that second wave's kind of hitting everyone, right? So that's to be determined, but so that might affect some on ice sessions in a way, but I'll still be able to work out and you know, do that stuff. So you know, it's been snowing here for about 4 weeks, though. It's been a little bit tough. You know, I didn't really prepare for the Canadian winter. I haven't been around here in a while. It's kind of nice. There's ODRs though, I guess. So I guess I could skate, but you know, like I said, it's been shoveling the driveway has been a little bit of a new lesson for me. Yeah, back doors.
Great, thanks.
Cheers.